What is reasonable to expect guests to help contribute on a week-long trip? I'm going to buy this boat, and then I'm going to invite my friends and family to come on board, and then they're going to have to pay me for being on board to offset my cost of owning this boat. What? That's not how it works. How much cash do you need in the BVI? Have you had any shark encounters you can share in the BVI? No. You should start selling Wandering Hillbilly Dinghy Float keychains. Why the hell did I not think of that? My wife and I loved your channel. She died 2 weeks ago from a heart attack at work. Money was not an issue. We just waited too long. Don't wait too long. Don't wait too long, man. Welcome back, gang. We are in Nebraska right now. It's January 2nd. Had a wonderful holiday season. I hope you guys did too. Hope it was safe and everybody was happy. And look, my first video. This is my first video I'm making. And the Texas Rangers are still the world champs. I didn't go to a single dang game in the playoffs, although I've been a fan for 42 years. I was just too busy doing this and doing that, but wow, that was fun. Hey, look, going to do some questions today. I'm headed out to the BVI. Here's the update. Going to the BVI around January 11th or 12th. I'm going to have some guests out there. I'm going to be on board for about 20 days, folks. So if you're in the BVI from middle of January to the end of January, 1st of February, look me up. If you see me, come say hi. More fun in February. We are going to have the Wandering Hillbilly Day at Aquila Boats at the Miami Boat Show. So I am going to be at the Aquila dock at the Miami Boat Show all day on February 15th. This is my anniversary. My wife really loves me to let me go do this. But that was the only day it could work out. But anyway, I'm going to be there on the 15th. Come, I'll be there all day long. Come on, man, let's talk. We'll shake hands, take a picture together. I'll tell you what I love about Aquila boats, and we'll just talk boats and have fun. So please come by the Miami Boat Show, February 15, Wandering Hillbilly Day. In addition to that, my friends over at Hull Shield, April and everybody over there, are going to have me as a guest the next day, the 16th, in the morning. I'm going to go by and talk. I want to talk and shake your hand and tell you how great Hull Shield is. I have not hired a diver since last January, a year ago. I have not had a diver in a year. And that's because I have Hull Shield. It does an incredible job, and I'll see you there at their booth on February 16th in the morning. Okay, lots of questions to get to. I'm doing this questions thing until I get down to the BVI so I can shoot some more footage and we can start doing more stuff down there. I have a really great story. This is Layla. Layla's 19 years old, and she and her parents took their first BVI charter just earlier this past fall, right? And her dad found the BVI through my videos. So since they were there at Nanny Key, Layla ran over there and took this picture. Cute as a button. About a week later, she sends me a DM saying, hey, I made a video of the trip. Please just tell me what you think.
Hey guys! We made it! You ready for a lot of awesomeness, a lot of fun? Hillbilly man, if you're watching this and you need an assistant, you know what to call.
I watched it, and it looks like a 19-year-old girl made it, but it was really good. And so I complimented her on it. Then I asked, hey, what's your major? So she's kind of interested in this business. So I hired her as a PA on the CMA Awards in Nashville. Here we are on set. She worked really hard, and that's what can happen if you just take a picture with a hillbilly. I'm not saying that's going to happen with everybody, but, you know, I thought that was just a great story. All right, let's get to some questions. A lot of stuff's going on. Here we go. Alan, I've heard you mention your guests. Are these actual guests, or do you charter your yacht? No matter how many times I say this, I still get tons and tons of questions of, hey, how much does it cost to charter your boat? When is it available? Can we come aboard? No, you can't come aboard. It's my boat. It's not a charter. And everybody you see on board are family or friends, guests, things like that. This coming time here in January is going to be my wife and then two other couples. And then following that, I've got the producer of the CMA Awards coming on and some other Nashville friends. So it's a guy's trip there. So I just really enjoy giving this trip to my friends and my family. Which leads me to this question. Alan, enjoy your channel much. I have purchased a 2018 Aquila 44 here in Southeast Florida. What is reasonable to expect guests to help contribute on a week-long trip? How to help with expenses? Thanks for the guidance. See you on the tube. Well, this is an interesting question because what he's basically saying is I'm going to buy this boat and then I'm going to invite my friends and family to come on board, and then they're going to have to pay me for being on board to offset my cost of owning this boat. What? That's not how it works. If you buy the boat, then you're accepting the fact that you have to cover the cost and consequences and financial responsibility of the boat. And then you can invite guests on. Now look, here's what I do on my guests and my family when they come aboard. I tell them, first of all, I need you to share in the food purchase, right? Because the food can cost anywhere from $800 to $1,300 down there for a week, okay? That's including alcohol. So basically, we all split it. Obviously, my guests are paying their own way to get there, flights, water taxis, whatever it is. And when they're on board, we have a little slush fund. I have them put in a couple $100 of cash. This gets me to another question I'm about to get to, because you do need some cash here and there around the BVI, but not a lot. And then, of course, there's dinner. Sometimes we cook on board, but I love going to all the restaurants around the BVI, so obviously everyone takes care of their own expense at dinner. A lot of times I'll have my nieces or my kids, they cannot afford all these dinners night after night after night. So what I'll do in that case is I'll take the check and I'll buy it, and then I say to them, you Venmo me what you feel you can afford or how much money you spent. It's up to you. I'm not going to judge you if it's $20 or if it's $100. Whatever you can afford or whatever you think you can do. So that leads me to this. How much cash do you need in the BVI? Well, not a lot, because pretty much everything is done by card. Soggy Dollar Bar everywhere. Everybody takes cards. Generally not American Express. Generally, I got to go with the Visa or the MasterCard. That's about it. You need cash for, in the mornings, a little boat will come by when you're on the mooring ball, right? And they'll want to pick up your trash. They'll sell you some ice. And the mooring ball costs $30 to $35 to $40 a night, and somebody will come by a boat and collect that, and they want cash. All that stuff is done cash. Now, you know about Boaty Ball, right? If you do a Boaty Ball, then you buy it online and you're not using cash to buy the ball, right? And that's between $40 and $50, depending on where you're getting the ball. Big Hillbilly fan. Thank you. Have you had any shark encounters you can share in the BVI? No, there are no sharks in the BVI that I've seen. I've never heard of anybody coming across a shark in the BVI. In the Bahamas, they're everywhere, a dime a dozen. You can swim with them. Don't stick your hand in their mouth. That's probably not a good idea. But yeah, they're everywhere in the Bahamas, but in the BVI, you will not run into a shark. It's pretty much shark-free. It's also pretty much dolphin-free. Every now and then you'll see one, but not much. Could you tell us what kind of captain certifications you have? Since this is not a sailboat, I'm interested in what license you need to operate. Love your videos. Keep them coming. I've said this before, and I'll just quickly say it again. You do not need a captain's license of any sort. If you're going to charter a boat, the charter companies are going to want to see a certain amount of experience on boats that size that you are chartering, or they're going to want to see you take some classes that get you to that level. Again, I took 3 U.S. boating classes, inshore cruising, basic boating, and nighttime navigation. And the first time I went and chartered at the moorings, that was enough for them. And I had done all those courses on a 52-foot boat, so that allowed me to rent their 51-footer. Sorry about your lost dinghy key. I've done similar things that I regret. Live and learn. You should start selling Wandering Hillbilly dinghy float keychains. Why the hell did I not think of that? Then you will never forget to put a floaty on your keys again. What can I say? I don't know. Been watching your channel for a while now, and first of all, we love it. We were in the BVI a few months ago, and you inspired us to charter our own boat. Last week, we chartered a moorings Power Cat in the Abacos. Amazing. My question is this. When you were boat shopping, I'd assume you compared the Aquila 54 and the Leopard 53. Why did you choose the Aquila, and if you had to do it over again, would you make the same choice? Thanks in advance. This is the #1 question I get from folks who are thinking about buying a Power Cat, is why Aquila? It came down to 2 choices for me. It came down to a Horizon Power Cat, which are beautiful, beautiful Power Cats, or the Aquila. And the Aquila won out easily for 2 main reasons. #1, it is important for me as a captain to get from the flybridge down to the bow quickly. And the Aquila is the only Power Cat in the world that allows you to do that I know of. No one's built one yet, I don't think. I can run straight from the bridge all the way down right to the front of the bow to help out my guests who are novices and aren't necessarily great at picking up mooring balls or dropping a hook. That was a huge deal to me. And the second reason why I bought it is the full-length beam master bedroom. Having a king-size bed with a walk-in closet, a shower, a washer, dryer, 2 sinks, for me and my wife is luxurious, and no other Power Cat offers that. Okay, here's a good BVI question that people have been asking me. Do you pay for an annual berth at Nanny Key, or do you just pay as and when you use it? If you ever get the time, it would be great to do a video of the costs of keeping your boat in the BVI regarding insurance, servicing, and maintenance. Also, berthing costs and boat manager costs, price of fuel locally. Anyway, really enjoy the videos that you put out. Let me just say, it ain't cheap. It's not cheap at all. You have to really love the BVI and love the whole area down there, because here's the thing, the BVI is all about the charter business, right? So if you go into any marina on the main island of Tortola, 90% of those boats are going to be charter boats. They're not going to be locally owned boats. So the marinas like the traffic of the charters coming in and out, in and out, in and out. They don't want to give up an entire slip to somebody annually when they can charge a heck of a lot more for daily rates on all these charter companies. So basically what I do is I've joined the Nanny Key, they call it the dry sail program, where I'm going to keep the boat in the water for a month at a time, 4 or 5 months out of the year. And when I'm not there, I'm going to take it out of the water, put it on land, block it off, and plug it into electricity so my batteries are good. And then my boat manager just takes care of it until I get it back in the water. That's what I've agreed to do because it's just simply the most cost effective. Now, if I wanted a full-time slip, I could probably get one at Scrub Island or maybe over at Spanish Town on Virgin Gorda, but it's not convenient because Tortola's it, right? For me, financially and for the life of my boat, I think this is the best thing. A lot of people say to me, you should keep your boat in the water. It's gonna, the bottom's not gonna do well. I agree, but for the BVI, this was the best thing for me. That program is about $10,000 for about 7 or 8 months, and that gives you the ability to take it in and out of the water 5 times. And I figure, and it pays for the cost of it being on dry land. You do have to pay for the slip, additionally, when you go back in the water. My boat manager, Simon, who you will see more of in these coming videos, is a godsend. He takes care of that boat like it's his, and he fixes things that I don't even know are broken. So he's just really taking care of the boat and keeping it fresh and new, and that's worth every penny as well. I'm not going to tell you how much I'm paying him because that's his business. Insurance is the biggest Magilla because look, you're right in the path of hurricanes. You saw it, I had to kind of dock for a couple of days in October because a hurricane was coming by. It's really, really expensive, upwards to $25,000, $30,000 annually for insurance in the BVI on one boat. Is the cheaper fuel at the spot available to anyone, or do you have to have a local with you? Might be a good thing to put it in your BVI questions episode. Well, guess what? I am putting it. He's referring to my boat manager, Simon, taking me to another gas station, so to speak, dock, over at Roadtown, and it was $2.50 per gallon cheaper over there than it was at Nanny Key. And that's because the charter companies have you, there you are, you got to pay for it. You got to put more gas in after you charter the boat, so when you come back into the marina, you only got one place to buy it, right there. So they got you. So yes, anyone can go over there, you just have to know where it is. Alan, what water taxi do you use and exactly what does it cost? I've heard conflicting reports. And actually, I've been a little conflicting on this too. So I went back and looked at it and I have been a little conflicting. Okay, I use Anthony Nelson Water Taxi. The actual name of his company is Maldive Charters. It's MaldivCharters.com. And look on the website, and that's Anthony's cell phone. So just call him. Anthony's wonderful. Here's the deal. It's a water taxi from St. Thomas over to Tortola or wherever you need to go, okay? But the key here is that it's minimum $800, up to 4 people. So basically $200 a person if there's 4 of you. For every additional person, it's $175. So if it's 6 people, it's $1,150. If it's 8 people, that's $1,500. So it averages out to be about $180, $190 a person. That's why I always say $200 a person, because it kind of just averages out that way. And that's one way. But again, no waiting in lines, no waiting for a ferry. He checks you into the country. You don't even have to get out of the water taxi. He takes your passports, he comes back, he gives them to you, you're right in, and you're there in a quarter of the time that it would take you to take the ferry. Okay, now I'm going to end with a couple of really touching questions, comments. This is really amazing, and it's one of the reasons why I love having this channel, is to have this kind of communication with folks who love boating and love watching the channel. Alan, I'm 61 years old and wheelchair bound, due from an accident 30 years ago. I stay active and are still working. I'm trying to figure out how I can charter with my wife and family. Love your channel, truly encouraging, hope to one day bump into you. Listen, man, I'm going to get on the horn with my friends at MarineMax. I'm sure there is a way for a wheelchair bound or a disabled person to charter. And when I find that out, I'm going to inform you about it and let you know how that works. That's just inspiring, right? And it's interesting that the allure of chartering in the BVI is this much, and it is, right? Because it's that much fun. It's a life-changing experience. Everyone will agree with you. Which brings me to this amazing, sad, hopeful, and wonderful comment. My wife and I loved your channel, your down-to-earth manner and humor. She died 2 weeks ago from a heart attack at work, only 64 years old. Our plans and dreams inspired by you and other boaters. Money was not an issue, we just waited too long. I miss her so much. Thank you for sharing. She loved your channel. Much affection from Toronto. The one thing that hits me about this comment is we waited too long. Don't wait too long. Don't wait too long, man. 40, 50, 60, it could end at any moment, right? And if money's holding you back, that makes all the sense in the world, right? But if money's not holding you back, and you can do it pretty cheaply, by the way. Sailboats are really cheap, I think, compared to power cats. So if you can afford it, do it, because you are going to be making memories that your family will remember the rest of their lives. It's about family and friends coming together and experiencing something that none of us have ever experienced before, and experience the pleasure of what God gave us on this beautiful earth. And I just think it's worth every penny. So if you can do it, don't wait any longer. Do it, all right? And if you're going to do it in January, I'll be there. Come say hi. Also, don't forget February, I'll be at the Miami Boat Show with Aquila, MarineMax, and Hull Shield. And then I'll be headed right back down to the BVI again in April. It's going to be wonderful. Great year. I'm going to be going back and forth all year long. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Happy New Year. We'll see you out on the water.